Marcus on the beat.
Dominoes, I'm about to make them dollars fold. I'ma have them bitches running like the comic code. In my city, bullets flying, niggas dropping loads. They don't knock on doors, they just break inside your home. Yeah. So my llama close. Yeah. If you get too close, yeah. Bitches adios. Had to let that nigga know he was doing the most. Tryna put my niggas on. All my niggas is broke. You think you broke, it's in your head. You feeling closest to the edge. Just keep your balance on the ledge. And if you fall and bust your head, it's nothing I could do. I know anything is possible. Fuck that, ain't nobody stopping you. Gotta be logical. Even if I could lose, I still gotta try, my nigga. I was gonna rob a dude when I was losing. I've been fooled by obstacles and I consume many rap beats and I produce. Gotta find my way, I'm trying to move. Why these motherfuckers wanna be kinda cool? I ain't fucking with you niggas, you comical. All I gotta do is give them a rhyme or two, saying phenomenal. Look at what time I do. Give him an opportunity to tie his shoes. I was tripping like book flights, no paradise, just parasites. Nigga been a slave all my life. Wonder why I know how to fight. Cause I had to fight for my rights. You know it's a true war between black and white. Bitches and me in the top floor. These niggas gon' hate on my condo. I'm tryna win and I'm waiting like Rondo. Ballin' on niggas like I was LeBron though. Squares in your circle, that's too many waffles. Money, money, that's God, alright. Making niggas sacrifices. Like all these niggas really die for hey. Dominoes. I'm about to make them dollars fold. I'ma have them bitches running like the comic code. In my city, bullets flying, niggas dropping loads. They don't knock on doors, they just break inside your home. Yeah. So my llama close. Yeah. If you get too close, yeah. Bitches adios. Had to let that nigga know he was doing the most. Tryna put my niggas on. All my niggas is broke.
Bitch, I done traveled 1,000 island miles. All wild compiling files, mine's been out of bounds. Bounce between cutthroat regimes, just below supremes. Raw life defining trials, I've been hiding out in a sense, yeah. Who in the boxes ball with me? There's too many shots in your block involving these stupid killer cops till we bombing all the department offices. Now I done found a proper route till I make a meal from the lines from out my mouth. Since a frightful child while the toxic niggas finna boogie down low rounds of countless Glockless. Obnoxious, a body competition, I am highly opposite of fully auto rocket power style. This the tale of a flow so corrupt, it'll leave almighty God devoured now, my nigga. Commence annual purge. I'm a vandal, you heard, fuck nigga, your head up on the mantle to serve. Damn, I was sure rampant to trample you off camera. Was all stand just to check where the neck damage occurred. Yeah. You better plan to disperse from the game, try banning me first. Lucifer got my soul, now a dead man will emerge, bitch.
Dominoes, I'm about to make them dollars fold. I'ma have them bitches running like the comic code. In my city, bullets flying, niggas dropping loads. They don't knock on doors, they just break inside your home. Yeah. So my llama close. Yeah. If you get too close, yeah. Bitches adios. Had to let that nigga know he was doing the most. Tryna put my niggas on. All my niggas is broke.
All right. Eileen says, do you all have sound? Eileen, try refreshing your device, beloved, if you don't have any audio. Okay. So hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. Also, thanks to those of you tuned in on the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. I am your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your Daily Vitamins. Okay, so as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, or the channels if you haven't done so already, or unsubscribe if you're mad. All right. If you are in fact a Boosie Rican and you are upset, don't come in my chat whining, crying, and complaining. No one cares. Your thoughts and opinions are absolutely irrelevant. Okay. We know that you've all drank the Kool-Aid, sadly. So this video is not for you. All right, this video is for those of us who are not afraid of the truth and who don't hate the truth, okay, and who have other things to say and we have receipts to show, as opposed to simply saying, oh, you're a hater, oh, you're an agent, oh, you're obsessed. Do you all notice how they all have the same exact talking points as their leader, Massa Boosie Reek? Do you all notice that? Pay attention. Okay, pay attention. All right. Got Just Call Melon. Okay, Kathy B's in the house. Lillian X, Davita, Kenyatta, Mr. Hotel, Danielle, Juju B. All right. Shout out to my moderators putting in work. Vince, I am all the way from the UK. We got Kenyetta, Carla Priest, Deronda. Okay, so let's get ready to get black into it. Okay, shout out to everyone in the chat. I see you, Laverne. Broken Silence in the house. Okay. Seth, I see you. Ms. Bless, Latasha. All right, Laverne, Idris. Okay, Silent D, Warrior Status, True Justice, Danielle. All right, let's get into it. If y'all seen any of those mad Nasheediites, Nasheedians, Bussy-Rickians, whatever you prefer to call them, please block them, moderators. You know what to do. We don't have time for their foolishness. And here's the thing. I've given them numerous of times to click the link and to get on here and debunk anything that I or anyone else has said about Bussy-Rick. They never have anything to say to substantiate or to disprove our claims or to substantiate their whining and crying. All they do is say the same thing. You're haters, you're jealous, you're obsessed. The only ones obsessed with Bussy-Rick are the Bussy-Rickians. Okay, they act as a whole cult. Okay, they're the ones obsessed, so much so that they attack people verbally that they don't even know, who've never done anything to them. They refuse to let people freely have a contrary opinion to Bussy-Rick. Okay, what's fine for Bussy-Rick is not fine for anyone else. But I'm about to go in on Bussy-Rick because he's a whole pathological liar. Y'all know he is. Now, Nisi Q said the last cartoon was corny. Honey, all of the cartoons are corny. Listen, this is what y'all need to pay attention to. A 50-plus-year-old fool named Bussy-Rick is sitting up here, and when he can't debunk or disprove or refute anything people are saying about him, he can't do anything about the receipts of truth that are being dropped and exposed on a daily, has been going on for months. He's had months to come out here and debunk some of these things that are being said, but he hasn't done any of that. The only thing that Bussy-Rick has done is spewed foolish insults, doxed people. Okay, that's all he's done. Lied on people. That's all he has done. Okay, he is a pathological liar and a perpetual person who plays the victim. That's what he does. You know who he reminds me of? Do you all remember old Central Park Karen? That's who he reminds me of. Absolutely. It's not even a game. He reminds me of Central Park Karen, how she sat there and was starting mess with that black man and then tried to act as though the black man attacked her. That's who he reminds me of. Okay? I'm not even joking. He's a whole Karen. Wants to start mess with black folk and then play the victim. Okay, now let's talk about some of the lies that he's told as of late. We can't get into all of his lies because it's too many to count and we don't have the time. But here's the thing. First of all, he's now going on a cleanup campaign. He went on Sonetta TV with Sonetta. I'm sorry, but wasn't he proven to be an agent? And in fact, all of the many people who came through Sonetta TV, weren't they proven to be frauds and agents? I'm sorry. Isn't this not true? Someone please debunk it with receipts. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, hold on. Let me pull up my chat on this phone. Because here's the thing. I haven't heard any of his people nor himself debunk anything. That's what I haven't done. And I saw one of his little biatches, okay, by the name of Beatzilla, throwing subliminals at the queen. Beatzilla, don't let me get on you because I have receipts, audio, and all of that. And I know you don't want to be embarrassed any further after that raccoon-looking dude, Sincere Love the God, and Nikki the God, yeah, that used to be your moderator. I know they already put you on blast with audio and text. So you don't want the queen to get started, so sit back somewhere. You told me to sit this one out. You don't tell me what to do, but I'm going to tell you what to do. You better sit this one out and quit throwing subliminals at me because this is the last one you want to get into it with, okay? I will embarrass you, okay? Your career hasn't even started. Don't make me end it before it does. All right, so with that all being said, don't let Bussy-Rick put a battery in your back, okay? Don't let him do that. All right, I'm so serious right now. And I called him to talk to him one-on-one, but he wouldn't answer. I called him on Instagram. He wouldn't answer. I know he wouldn't because he don't want us to talk about, I better be glad he didn't curse me out. Beatzilla, you would never curse me out. And you know it and I know it. You can sit there and act like you so big and bad. There's no thugs in Portland, Oregon. Okay, please sit down somewhere. There is no thugs in Portland, Oregon. Now you sit there and talk big and bad about you went to prison and that in fact you went there for deleting a Caucasian person. No, you didn't. Okay, don't make me drop the receipts of why you actually went. Sit down somewhere. That's all I'm saying. Don't get me started. But now this is about Boosie Reek, so let's get back on him. Okay, you have to let people know, honey. I'm not the one to play with, Beatzilla. I'm saying your name, unlike you who wouldn't say mine. And you better keep it that way if you know what's good. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, let me pull up some of the footage. Now, here's the thing. Boosie Reek, as we know, filed a restraining order against Brandon from Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. Now, he filed this restraining order and he went into court saying, according to Brandon, that he feared for his life and the lives of his family, and that Brandon was coming to the so-called museum, aka Rib Shack, starting trouble. Okay, hold on just a moment. I'm going to put something up on the screen, and then I'm going to play some audio for you all. Hold on just a moment, okay? We're going to get into it. Okay, sorry, beloveds. I had someone at the door. Now I'm going to play some of the audio from where he was on Sanetta's show. Everyone, please get those likes up. Please like and share. Subscribe or unsubscribe. Y'all know the queen don't care. Okay, now I'm going to play some of the audio from when Boosie Reek went on Sanetta's show. Telling all these lies. I want y'all to pay attention.
No reason, just really trying to come up. I think people uses our names just so that they can come up, and they got to do it based off of negativity, and that, I think that's a shame. Talk to us about what really happened when one of the trolls came up on you, Taharka Bey, of course I'm speaking about. And I've seen the video. He tried to lie, and I've seen the video. Talk to us about that. How did that whole thing went down?
Yeah, well, the whole thing with Taharka Bey, he started making videos about me a while ago, and I just never really responded to him. And he was just trying to bait me, as if somebody kind of put him up to it, just making these real weird videos. Like, yeah, I'm trying to understand what Tariq and FBA is about. Okay, why does this dude keep talking about me? So I threw some shots at him, and then he just started making videos, like literally every day. Just disparaging my family and, my children and my wife and just a whole bunch of, whatever. So I don't trip on that too much. And he's been making a lot of threats online. He's been putting up pictures of me in a casket, like I'm dead, and he's going to do this, and he's going to come out here, and, oh, the end is near for me, and when he sees me, it's going to be on site and all that. Okay. So I go to my museum a couple of days ago, and I see like an Easter Island head standing outside the museum. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Right.
What is this big head thing standing in front of my museum? And I know that's not Taharka Bey. I know that's not him. I pulled up and it was him. Then I pulled my car over. Then he kind of walked over. And I'm assuming he's going to try to do all the things he said he was going to do.
That's right, yeah.
And I'm assuming he has something on him. I'm assuming if you're going to come out here that bold, you holding something. So I just got the Spirit of God and gave him the hand of Jesus. And I tried to smack.
Yes, sir.
If he was wearing a fez, I tried to smack it off. So I smacked the taste out of his mouth. And he ran back to his rented Kia automobile and jumped back in and went back to the airport. And that's what happened.
that was mad funny when you showed that part. You said, yo, look at him. There you go. He's running back to the car. And he jumped in the car and was like, boom. I was like, oh, man, this dude's crazy.
Yeah, he tried to lie and said I swung and ducked, and then I put out the actual footage, the security footage. And let's be clear, some people like, I shouldn't have said I slapped him. Yeah, it was self-defense, dude.
It was self-defense.
100%.
And he can never get you, because if he do, that would be the last thing he do. He already got footage of threatening you. People see it all on the internet, and then he comes to your place. Where you at? You didn't go to him. He comes to you. So what do you supposed to think? What are you supposed to do? What I was supposed to do? And also he said, yeah, I was going to pop him, but I didn't. So he had a gun. So if a person run up on you at your place with a gun and they've been threatening you, what are you going to do? Damn right. And we know he's a violent kid. He's violent with women. He's violent with a lot of women. You know? Yeah, and he has a track record of violence. So I'm not going to stick around and let this dude harm me. So I did what any sensible human being is going to do, is defend yourself, and ran him up off the block. In the state of California, you have a stand your ground law. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Mm-hmm. You don't have a duty to retreat. If there's a threat towards you, you have a duty to neutralize the threat. You can neutralize that threat in any way you see fit. You do not have to let somebody stand there and victimize you. That's a good thing about certain laws. And just as a human being, let me tell you something, man. My brother Nipsey Hussle, that was my guy, man. And somebody did the same thing to him. They ran up on our brother and kind of acting friendly. People don't know the dude who killed Nipsey, he shook Nipsey's hand before he killed him. He went up there acting like a friend, and Nipsey knew something was up with the dude. He was like, hey, man, I heard you a snitch. I ain't really rocking with you. So the dude circled back and then killed my brother like that. We can't let stuff like that happen. When we see a threat, neutralize the damn threat. I'll deal with the laws and shit later. I see a threat, I'm neutralizing that to make sure that I'm out of harm's way and I'm going to be safe. Right. And so that's what I mean by when I first asked you the question about, do you think trolls go too far? Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I mean by that, man. Yeah. But man, that sounds like something else, man. I don't think that's dangerous, brother. It's dangerous. Ain't that some OPI CIA type of stuff? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. I think we've heard enough of the foolishness. I want y'all to pay attention. Let's dissect what this clown just said. First of all, I want y'all to pay attention. He said that Taharka has been threatening him. Well, I'd like for him to produce the footage because he's lying. Taharka has never threatened him. But hold on. He also said that Taharka was making videos about him and he was ignoring him at first. That's not true either. Taharka did a video asking questions about FBA being a lineage. He invited some people who claim to call themselves, identify as FBA, to come on the show. They came on the show and they gave their explanations as far as to what FBA was all about. Now, after all of this occurred, Boosie Reek took it upon himself to then start clowning. Well, first he started threatening Taharka. He's the one who made the threats. Does anyone remember this? Yes. My fan page says dog whistling. Yes, exactly. They do sound like white supremacists. Absolutely. They're dog whistling. When he's saying something about Nipsey Hussle, I just want y'all to pay attention. Saying we can't have that happen. How dare him compare himself to Nipsey Hussle? And the situations are nowhere similar in comparison. Okay, he's full of crap. But at the end of the day, this is what this devil does. He sits up here and tells all these foolish lies, okay, trying to make sense out of the BS that he has done. And there's nothing to make sense of it. Because at the end of the day, he's just a liar. He's just a liar. And now he wants to play the victim. Now, hold on. Does this look like someone who's the victim? Hold on. Let me pull this up. Hold on. Lights up, everyone. Please get those lights up. Now, does this look or sound like someone who's a victim?
Yo, that bitch Taharka Bey just came up here to the museum. Shout out to the security up here. Shout out to his brother here. I just slapped the shit out of Taharka Bey. All right? Did you see me slap the shit out of him? I just slapped the shit out of Taharka Bey and ran him the fuck up out of here. Yo.
Does that look like someone who was acting in self-defense? If you were acting in self-defense, why would you get on live bragging about what you just did? Also, there is a stand your ground law in California, and here's what it says. It says a defendant in California is entitled to stand their ground and defend themselves using force, if reasonably necessary, to pursue an assailant under the danger of bodily injury, death, or any other crime has passed. This is so even if safety could be achieved by retreating. Now let's break this on down, okay? Because y'all know I went to school for criminal justice. Pay attention. Okay, so with that all being said, the first thing we should pay attention to is it says they can defend themselves using force if reasonably necessary. Now, was it reasonably necessary for him to use force? Well, no, it wasn't. You see, because in fact, Taharka was no threat to him. Taharka was across the street from the so-called museum. Now, it's not like Taharka came to his neighborhood, to his house, was on his front porch, or any of those things. And in fact, he lied and said that Taharka flew all the way from Baltimore to California to attack him, right? Basically to confront him. That's not true. Taharka had been saying for months, and we all heard that Taharka was saying for months he's going to California to file the defamation and slander lawsuit. Many of us contributed to him being able to do so. So there's the proof that he didn't come there from Baltimore to confront Boosie Reek. Okay, that's one lie that's easily debunked. The next one is he says that Taharka made threats to him, numerous threats, and said that Taharka said when he sees him, it's on sight. Taharka never said that. He never made any threats. He always laughed and joked about the things that Boosie Reek said about him, the insults and all of that, putting on the Frankenstein mask. He always laughed about it. He never made any threats. Taharka never even seemed angry or upset. He never seemed mad. Here's the face of someone who's angry and upset. I want you to pay attention, because does this look like the face of someone who's winning? Does that look like the face of someone who is winning? Or does that look like the face of someone who's taken numerous L's and they know they got even more L's to come? All right? They know they have more L's to come. Another thing, the Stand Your Ground law in California says that you can pursue an assailant until the danger of bodily injury, death, or any other crime has passed. What is an assailant? Well, I'm so glad you asked. The assailant is the person who is the attacker, who is the aggressor. Well, the only aggressor during this whole thing, and we already have seen the footage, the aggressor was Boosie Reek. He was the one advancing on Taharka. He literally got out of his truck after spinning the block, got out of his truck and confronted Taharka, who was backing away to avoid a confrontation. He then said, and I want y'all to pay attention because the lies don't even make sense. That's how you know he's a pathological liar. You see, because here's what pathological liars do. They will continue to lie even if they know that you already know they're lying. This is what they do. That's why they're called pathological liars. So with that all being said, he further said that Taharka had a gun on him because he says Taharka said he would pop him. Well, if somebody slaps you and you say that you would have popped them, that's likely that you were going to punch them with your hands. Where does the gun come from? And here's the thing. You mean to tell me Taharka had a gun on him and he let you advance toward him and he didn't draw the weapon? You said that Boosie Reek said that Taharka ran to the car and drove back or flew back to got back to the airport. He said he ran back to his Kia rental car and headed back to the airport. That's what he said, right? That's all lies too. That's all lies because first of all, Taharka did not run, okay? He absolutely did not run, but let's pull that footage up. I'll show you that in just a second. But at the end of the day, Taharka did not run, and he also didn't leave California that day. So Boosie Reek is still telling lies, okay? He's still telling lies. Like I said, that's all he knows to do is to continue lying and trying to play the victim. Hold on, let me pull up this footage. He wants to continue to lie and play the perpetual victim, just like a Karen, okay? Just like a Karen. Let me show you the footage. Yes, he's an actor princess. He absolutely is. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Here we go.
We got love in LA. Ahmadiyyah hype. Hold up. So look.
So does that look like Taharka was scared and he ran up out of California and just got there to the airport and left? He was still there. He might be still there. I'm just saying, please stop lying. And then the nerve of him to try to put Nipsey Hussle, compare himself to Nipsey Hussle. I just want y'all to pay attention. And it's so obvious that Sonetta was licking his boots, talking about, oh, I appreciate all your work that you do, and you're such a legend. A legend in grifting, that's what he's a legend in. He's a legend in grifting. Okay, pay attention. But hold on. Now, you know, when Boosie Reek was acting like he was so tough, this is what he reminded me of. Y'all remember the scene from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta when what's the guy's name that is married to Lyrica? That guy, y'all remember the scene where he was talking smack to Safari? That's, and what Safari said to him, that reminded me of Boosie Reek. Let's get into it.
True or not, my
Listen,
nigga?
it is what it is.
Fuck it, bro.
And just because you want to act stupid, I'm going to text Lyrica and tell her how you acting.
You weak.
Yeah, leave. Go home. How's somebody with black nail polish, gold dreads, and sparkly shoes telling me I'm weak?
Okay, I'm sorry. That just reminds me of that. Because Safari said, how is someone with gold, black nail polish and sparkly hair, sparkly shoes and gold hair telling me I'm weak? Okay. Now, Boosie Reek wants us to think that he's so big and bad and that Taharka is afraid of him. Dude, you just had on fake woven in locks in your hair and you wear lip gloss clearly. Okay? And you wear ankle socks to court with a high water suit. There's nothing masculine about any of it. I'm just saying. There's nothing masculine about any of it. And so therefore, him trying to act like he's so big and bad, that's crazy. Here's another thing. For all of the people that were saying Taharka was a coward and all that stuff, well, how is he a coward when Tariq had people with him? You see, the same thing happened with Brandon. Now, Taharka was there. Tariq, Boosie Reek, already had his security there. He had 3 security and the police across the street. Okay, who's going to be foolish enough to get into a whole squabble with the police? And we know how they delete black folk. And I actually think the police were there because Boosie Reek wanted them there, because I absolutely think he's Agent 007. That's just what I think. Now, with that all being said, if Boosie Reek wasn't working with the police, why would he feel so emboldened, like I said days ago, to come up and start a confrontation and try to swing on somebody? Why would he be so bold and emblazoned to do that? Can anyone make that make sense? I have so many questions, but here's the thing. He said that Taharka had on a body cam. Yes, he did. But then he said he brought a gun and was probably he acted as if Taharka was going to shoot him. Well, here's the question. Why would someone bring a gun to harm someone, but at the same time wear a body cam to record themselves? So you're going to incriminate yourself? That doesn't make any sense. And if anyone can make it make sense, please feel free to tell me to drop the link. Okay? I'm sorry. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Okay? Now, he also sat up there and lied in court, according to Brandon, saying that he came there to get a restraining order for his tenant. I'm sorry, but anybody with common sense knows you cannot file a restraining order on the behalf of someone else, maybe your child, but not a grown adult. If an adult wants a restraining order filed, they have to do that for themselves. No one can come and act as you or on your behalf to file a restraining order. He was filing it for himself. That's why when he was in court the first time, he was sitting there talking about how he was so afraid for his life and all of that. Okay? And also, the woman who was the tenant is no longer there. He said Brandon was harassing this woman. Well, if Brandon was harassing her, why did she feel free to give Brandon her business card? Does that sound like someone who's being harassed? You see, he took out that restraining order, or tried to take out that restraining order, simply to keep Brandon away from the museum, because he didn't want Brandon exposing anything further about him. Because those people at the museum, they found out. They found out that he's a whole grifter. They looked him up on the internet and they got the receipts and they saw what was being exposed about him. Also, the woman was upset because she said pictures of her family had been shown or something like that. But at the end of the day, Boosie Reek, now he's throwing this rent party, and mark my words, he's not only going to have this grand opening February the 25th, where he's having a private VIP grand opening, he's likely going to do this every month. Because here's the thing, he can't have a whole bunch of people come to that museum at once. He doesn't have the room for it. Remember, it's only 1,300 square feet. So he can probably fit about 25 to 40 people in there without the fire marshal stepping in to ask questions. Okay, so he can't have a bunch of people in there. Okay, and he needs to make his money. He's charging $150, so he's likely going to have that going on every month. Okay, at least more than February, I'm sure of it. Okay, because now it's a rent party, and he probably has to pay that mortgage every month, because I don't think he even bought the building outright. You know, maybe he did, but I doubt it. Okay, and so another thing is, if someone came to see you with a weapon, why would they even sit there and back away from you? Why? How can he? Here's what I want you to pay attention to. How can he, on the one hand, act as though Taharka is a coward who's afraid of him and wouldn't fight back? But then on the other hand, he acts as though Taharka was some thug who flew all the way from Baltimore to California to attack him and even brought a gun. How does that make a bit of sense? Well, it doesn't make any sense. And the Boosie Rikians, as mad as they are because they're masses taking all these L's and will take even more, they're so mad, but they can't debunk anything. All they keep doing is saying the same old, same old. They all say the same exact talking points. And those are the same talking points of their leader, Boosie Rik. Okay? I just want y'all to pay attention. It's the same exact talking points of Boosie Rik. But hold on. Now, here's the thing. He walked up on Brandon after court with his two thugs, okay, suspected gang members who are Caucasian Latinos, right? Non-FBA. His little minions aren't saying anything about that. They'll just pretend they didn't notice that. They won't ask any questions instead of asking Boosie Rik questions. Because see, here's the thing. They don't want to ask him questions because anytime any of them do ask questions, he puts them on blast and says, oh, that's Oppie talk. Oh, you sounded like an agent. Oh, you're plebiscite babbling. And they don't want to get embarrassed because they're obviously afraid of him, so they won't ask him the tough questions. What they'll instead do is try to harass me, Taharka, Michi, Brandon, and anyone else who's exposing Boosie Rik. They'll try to harass us and ask us 1,000 questions. Why don't y'all go ask him some questions? Okay? Shouldn't he be able to give you the answers that you seek? I'm just saying, make it all make sense. Hold on. Let me pull this up real quick.
You
didn't paint your hairline on today. You need to go get that fixed.
Some of the paint for that
You need to go get it fixed.
And this city trend outfit.
You need to get it fixed. You need to go get it fixed.
All right.
You need to go get it fixed. Have a nice day, Mr. Nasheed. You lost today.
You're still paying out of pocket.
Hey, I'm not paying nothing. Hey, it's okay. I got my people behind me. All right. Buenos noches, senor. Buenos noches. Buenos dias. Hey, this dude lost in court and tried to come with his gang, aka security, and beat me up. Lord! Hey, Tariq is pathetic, man. He's pathetic. All right, man, I gotta go enjoy the rest of my.
He is pathetic. That's absolutely true. He is absolutely pathetic. But hold on. He also said that Taharka posted a picture of him in a coffin, depicting him as dead. That's a lie. Do you all remember that screenshot where that meme where Taharka posted him in the coffin? He wasn't in the coffin dead. He was raised up out of it talking. And Taharka posted something about he was gonna destroy his grifting or kill his grifting. Didn't say anything about doing harm to him. He's so full of crap. Okay, and he knows it. But here's the thing that I find interesting. He's sitting there talking about Taharka depicted him in a coffin and all of that, like that was a threat, which we all know it wasn't. But what about this? Do y'all remember this? Y'all want to see a dead body? Now, he actually had his moderator, D. Tubman. Now, I was told that he told her to do this. I don't know if he did, but that's what the word is, that he told D. Tubman to post this. Okay, and foolishly, she did it. Y'all want to see a dead body. Okay, is that not Taharka? So now I'm just telling you, he's such a hypocrite. Okay? He is such a hypocrite. And here's the thing, that video that I did days ago exposing him about snitching on the Jamaicans about the ganja fields and how there was the biggest drug bust or biggest marijuana or ganja bust in Jamaica's history. After that, interesting thing is none of his people said anything about that. They didn't say anything about that. They didn't say, oh, he didn't do it. Oh, you're lying. Oh, he wasn't snitching. They didn't say anything about that. All they did was call me a hater for doing that. You see, I want y'all to pay attention because here's a sick thing about these people. They're not B1. If they were B1, they would not be going in on other black folk for simply telling the truth about him. They would be going in on him too and exposing him, but they don't want to because they're comfortable with their own foolishness. They'll sit there and allow him to tell all these lies, and you know they know that he's lying. You do know that, right? These people can't be that stupid. They've seen the receipts. They've heard him get on live streams and contradict himself, okay? They know that he's trying to play the whole victim. Now it's all of a sudden self-defense. But if it was self-defense, why did you spin the block and come to confront someone who was across the street from your building? The building is in a public place. He didn't say that Taharka couldn't come there. If Taharka wanted to do him something dirty, why didn't Taharka do it at the rally? Taharka was right there at the rally in Washington, D.C. So why didn't Taharka confront him then with a gun if that's what he wanted to do? You see how his lies make no sense. And of course, the judge will know this when they go to court. The judge will know this. He's going to pay for the lies that he's told and for all this chaos that he's been causing and for sitting there defaming people. He's going to pay for all of it, and he knows it. Now, what he's trying to do is have his case tried in the court of public opinion. Well, it doesn't matter what his minions think, because those minions don't have anything to do with the rule of law. They don't have anything to do with what happens inside of the courtroom, and that's where it counts. Okay, that's where it counts. Vince I Am says TB needs to do a Boosie Rick memorial service like Queen did for Wigs. Yes, absolutely. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. Okay. So he's really a troll, making real black folks who want to change our community look foolish. Yes, he's making us all look crazy. Okay, that's what he's doing. Okay, how do you Crip and police? Exactly, that's a good question. Didn't he say that he had Crip affiliations? But then you got the police across the street. Now I just want y'all to pay attention. Y'all know good and darn well that if the police, Queen, don't give him too much credit. Don't give credit to the Boosie crowd. Right. You know, they're not smart at all. But here's the thing. How is he supposed to be such a thug? But you file a restraining order. He's a walking contradiction. You file a restraining order. Okay. And then, you know, he sat up there and lied in court because he told the judge, for one, according to Brandon, that Bucci Bear was not about Brandon. But then now he's made a couple of other cartoons. It's so sad that when he gets put in a corner, when people start exposing him, when he takes an L, all he does to come back and counter it is to make another foolish cartoon. And those of his minions who laugh and think that's so hilarious and think that his foolish, comical, or lack thereof skills is anyway, more relevant than the truth being exposed on him. Well, that's because they're all asinine. They all have the minds of children. Okay, none of these people act like adults. And it's very unnerving that these grown black men are sitting there defending another grown black man who's not even defending himself against the accusations that have been levied against him. He's not even defending himself. All he's doing is spewing a bunch of foolish insults and telling a whole bunch of lies. That's what he's doing. He's telling a whole bunch of lies. And he's not going on any legitimate platforms to try to clean up this whole mess. He's going on the platforms of people who have been exposed and called agents and frauds. He went on Sonetta TV. Okay? I've asked him to debate me. He's not going to do that. I would love to debate him. I want some answers. The Boosie Rickians should want answers, but they don't. They're fine with him telling all these lies and grifting them, but they're angry with the people who will call it out. I'm going to continue to call it out. The Boosie Rickians don't bother me. They don't scare me. I think they're hilarious. I think they're hilarious. Okay? They can't fade your receipts, Queen. Thank you, Lana. They sure can't. Okay? They absolutely cannot. They're pathetic, and so is he. Okay, Greta said, Queen speaking facts all day long. Thank you, beloved. Okay? Miss Hotel said, sewn in weave. Boosie Rick, sit down. Exactly. Okay? Lillian X said he wouldn't dare, Queen. No, he absolutely wouldn't. He would not debate me or anyone else with critical thinking skills and common sense. Anytime he loses a debate, and he's lost them all thus far, anytime he loses a debate, he tries to blame it on something else. Jared Taylor destroyed him in the debate. Quite frankly, at the time, I was following him. And I was so embarrassed as a Black person that he lets a wanton supremacist destroy him in a debate like that. And all he did was sit there with no facts to, debunk anything the man was saying. He had not studied or done any research to prepare himself, didn't have any statistics that he could quote. He didn't do anything. All he did was sit there respectfully, answering sir and yes, sir, and all of that, and then trying to crack jokes in between. He had no valid facts, and that's just what it is. Okay? Niecy said, we found a weak spot. Yes, absolutely. Jared totally destroyed him, totally and completely, says Greta. Yes, absolutely. Okay, I was quite frankly embarrassed. And here's the thing. He says that he likes Jesse Lee Peterson. Now, we all know Jesse Lee Peterson is a whole raccoon. Why would he like someone like that? Because he's a raccoon. That's why. I'm so glad you asked. Because he is absolutely a raccoon. So here's the thing. I want you all to be ready. Because on Wednesday, Taharka is going live. And he's going to tell the real truth about what happened. And he's going to have real receipts. Okay, unlike Boosie Reek, who thinks it's I'm Boosie Reek and I said so. Because I said it was self-defense, even though I was the aggressor, even though I was the assailant, even though I was the one who came and confronted him, even though I was the one who had the bodyguards, the security guards, and the police out there. Yeah, he thinks that's going to work. Okay, he can go into court. And here's the thing. Here's how you all know he's a pathological liar. According to Brandon, he was in the courtroom and they played audio of him speaking on one of his lives. And the judge asked him if that was him. And the fool said no. He sat there and lied. And the judge asked him again, so that's not you, Mr. Nasheed. And he said no. He said it wasn't him. The judge is literally standing there, sitting there listening to his own voice. But he continued to lie. That is the definition of a pathological liar. Even if they know that you know they're lying, they will continue to lie because the truth is not in them. The truth is not in them, beloveds. And this whole thing about Taharka coming there to the museum and these foolish Boosie Reekians who are saying, oh, he came there. Why did he come there in the first place? Well, he already said on his lives numerous of times he was going to go there to get footage. He said that he's a journalist and he's going to gather footage. If I were in California, I'd do the same thing. So no, and it's a public place, okay, on a public street. It's not behind some gate where nobody can get to it. And also, by the way, Taharka was absolutely across the street. But here's how you know the whole thing was staged and set up by Boosie Reek, like I told you all days ago. It's no coincidence that his security guards were there. It's no coincidence that the police was there because Boosie Reek, at the end of the day, there was no one there just the day before when one of the Boosie Reekians went there and filmed the museum, so-called museum, okay, and the whole street. I showed you all the footage the other day. So at the end of the day, there is no way he can sit there and try to paint this narrative. It's not going to work. He can tell lies on the internet and his foolish subscribers can believe them all they want. But who's not going to believe him? It's the judge. And I find it interesting that none of his minions are talking about his loss in that courtroom with Brandon. They don't have anything to say now. They don't have anything to say about that because they can't debunk. They know he absolutely lost. They should have known he was going to lose. Okay? They should have known he was going to lose. Niecy said it's an exhibition room. Absolutely. An art gallery at best. He may have a few pieces of art in there from some local artist or something and use that. But there's nothing in there, and nor will there be anything that is of significance as far as artifacts are concerned. Where would he get them? And what is going to be hidden in this hidden history museum? What is actually going to be hidden? I have questions because anything that he puts in there, I'll guarantee you it's not hidden and it's nothing that no one has ever seen or heard before. Okay? So the whole thing's just foolish. And they want to sit there and get mad because people are calling it out. I'll continue to call it out. What y'all going to do about it? I'm a boss. Okay? Isn't that what Boosie Reek says? What if I do call him out? What y'all going to do about it, Boosie Reekins? I'm a boss. I'm thorough. My reputation is impeccable. Isn't that what Boosie Reek says? Isn't that what he says? And then he wants to call somebody a troll. Here's the thing. And his minions want to call Taharka a troll. The troll is Boosie Reek. Anybody who's making cartoons about somebody on a regular basis, and you're even making video games to try to sell and grift, you're the troll. You're the troll. And anyone who goes to platform trying to spew lies and paint narratives and act as though they're the victim when they in fact instigated the whole thing, you're the troll. And you're the one who's obsessed. See, here's the thing. It only takes me maybe an hour to do a broadcast going in on Boosie Reek. It may take Taharka about 2 hours, but it takes Boosie Reek a whole lot of time to get those cartoons made for him because he's not making those cartoons. I guarantee you he's not making them. He didn't go to school for that. He didn't go to school for animation. Okay, he didn't go to school for that. Do y'all think that he's actually making those cartoons? I guarantee you. I'm willing to bet money that somebody else is doing it for him. I mean, we already saw the proof on Taharka's channel where he had Brad making one of the Muppet scenarios about Tommy Sotomayor. Okay, he uses Brads and Chads to clown black people, but we're supposed to think he's pro-black. We're supposed to think he's fighting for reparations. He's already gotten his reparations by the way of his foolish minions who give him all of their money. If they save the money that they spent with him, maybe they'd have something. Okay? I'm just saying. Please. So Sharon says dropout, wasn't he? Yes, I believe he dropped out in the 9th grade. Okay, that's what I think it was the 9th grade he dropped out in. And these people are allowing someone who doesn't even have a GED to fool them, to lead them, to guide them, to give them talking points. A fool who doesn't even know what the word plebiscite means. Plebiscite babble. How does that even make sense? Okay? Doesn't even know what the word means. And then you have other fools who are likely agents just like himself, likely 007s in my opinion, all right? Just like I think he is. You have these other fools on here spewing the same foolishness, talking about plebiscite babble. Okay? Grown black men. All right? I'm just saying, y'all don't have suspicions about these people that are following him. And here's another thing. I want y'all to pay attention because another thing is the video that I did the other day where they found out that the FBI, the black guy who wrote the article, found out that the FBI had used a violent criminal to infiltrate the racial justice movement in Colorado. Now, that article that I did, do you all know that Beatzilla, Boosie Reek's main minion and clout chaser, he used that same article and tried to paint the narrative of Taharka being the agent? Boosie Reek did the same thing. Both of them copied my talking points, but tried to use it rather instead of being on Boosie Reek, which is where I was directing it, on Taharka. I just want y'all to pay attention. You see, they are not authentic, original by any stretch of your imagination. Beatzilla tries to copy my stuff all the time because he used to be my moderator before I fired his ass, okay? Okay, for being a Boosie Reek apologist, all right? But at the end of the day, I just want y'all to pay attention to that. They don't have their own receipts. They can't find their own receipts, so they have to copy the queen. And they have to try to use reverse psychology on their minions and take whatever I've used against him and try to flip it and use it against Taharka. But that's not going to work. Because you see, the only fools following Boosie Reek are brainless minions who've been brainwashed. Okay? They don't have any thoughts of their own. They go by everything that he says. So what they'll do is sit back and watch me and see what I'm talking about and what I'm doing, and then go back and try to, copy it. Okay, that's all they did. That's all they did. Wow, I didn't know you fired him, Queen. Yes, I fired him. I absolutely did. Okay, late, but I'm here. Okay, hey, beloved. Yes, I fired him. You know why? One of the main reasons, well, because he's a Boosie Reek apologist for one, but for two, because he acts like a female. Now, I don't like no man who's having all this feminine energy and trying to be messy. Okay, trying to be messy. He's very messy. He acts like a woman, and that was just getting on my last nerve. He's so petty with his messiness, always getting into it with somebody. Okay, that's why his own moderator, Nikki the God, got into it with him and called him out and showed all his text messages and shared his audio and all of that. That's why, because he's messy. Okay, he's messy. His attachment to Boosie Reek is the only reason he has to keep on clout chasing. And also the only reason that Boosie Reek even shouts him out is because Boosie Reek knows that he used to be my moderator and he thinks that that bothers me. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. I think it's hilarious. Okay? At the end of the day. Ashley said, I missed the person say Beatzilla. Okay, Beatzilla. That's who I'm talking about. He was sitting there throwing subliminals, honey. I wouldn't even be calling him out right now, but he was throwing subliminals. Don't throw subliminals at me. Don't throw subliminals at me. And here's the reason. Here's the reason it all started, because he posted on Twitter. He stole my talking points again. He posted on Twitter and posted a picture of Taharka and said, anybody affiliated with this person, y'all need to be watching them or whatever, because this is agent behavior or something. I can't remember it verbatim, but basically saying you need to watch Taharka and anybody affiliated with him. Well, he got that from me, because that's what I said about Boosie. You see, I've been saying that, and y'all know it. I said that anybody affiliated with Boosie Reed, co-signing him, or, going along with his foolish talking points, you need to watch them. Because anybody with common sense or critical thinking skills should know that he is not on the up and up, okay? That he is not doing the work, that he is not really pro-black and out here trying to really fight for reparations. He's not. And so with that all being said, anybody who's co-signing it, I said y'all should be leery of them. You should be paying attention to them, okay? Now he goes, Beatzilla, that is, and tries to take what I said about Boosie Reek and use it against Taharka. Sit down somewhere, Beatzilla, with your stupid self, okay? I'm the last person you should want drama with. I promise you that. But anyway, with that all being said, I'm about to conclude this broadcast, but I want to tell you all, make sure you tune in on Wednesday. I don't know the time yet, but Taharka's going live. And that's when y'all going to get the real receipts, and y'all going to get the real truth, and y'all going to see what really happened. And for those of you that have common sense, you should know that nobody would wear a body cam to go and attack someone. Okay. And also, as far as those who say that Taharka was stalking him, that's all lies and BS. Okay. Stalking someone is when you repeatedly, continuously follow someone, show up at their place of business, their home, and all of this stuff. You continuously do this time and time again, okay, giving them unwanted attention. Taharka's not done any of that. He went to California, and he has the proof because he actually filed the lawsuit. That's why he went there. And I'm glad he filed it. And at the end of the day, Boosie Reed knows that he's going to have to pay, because he knows it's a no-win situation. You sat up here and lied on that man and called him a S offender. That's what you did. But you're going to have to answer for that in the courtroom. And for anyone that wants to say anything about somebody snitching and all of that, Boosie is the snitch. Y'all heard what he was saying about the Jamaicans and the ganja fields. And he even said in the video that I played for you, the audio that I played, he even admitted, well, what am I going to tell them now when they realize I don't want to buy any drugs, and I know the whole layout of the place. I've seen everybody. I know where the stash is. He said all of that. So you know that he wasn't just inadvertently giving all these details and directions. He was purposely doing this. I've never been to Ocho Rios, Jamaica. I'd never even heard of it, but I knew that's exactly where he was because of all the details that he gave. He said that they stopped at Mystic Mountain. Mystic Mountain is in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. He said that he stood on top of a hill so high he could see the Cuba. That is Blue Peak Mountain, more likely than not, because you can stand on Blue Peak Mountain and you can see the Cuba. He then said that he passed Ocho Rios High School. Now, I want you all to pay attention because he was very specific in his details, like I said, and he was giving landmarks and all of that. If any of you were telling a story about a trip to Jamaica where you got caught up with some Jamaicans because they thought you were going to buy some ganja or whatever, you could have told the story without giving directions to where the stuff was. You could have told the story without naming the name of the high school. Most people would say, oh, I passed the school on the left. He said he passed Ocho Rios High School. Why did he feel the need to give the name of the high school? Why did he mention that the guy with the dreads? Why did he keep saying that 3 and 4 times? Yeah, the guy with the dreads came out, the guy with the dreads, and then the guy with the dreads had 2 bushels. He had a machete. He was letting them know that they were armed. He said they had a machete. He was letting them know that the person had locks. He was letting them know there was 2 women. And also this time, he did not do the animation that he does with the cartoons. He didn't have that done. This time, he had computer generated animation, which shows very close to what a person actually looks like. And if you watch the entire cartoon, you'll see that because he and his wife Peanut in the animation, they look exactly like themselves. So we can assess from that the other people involved looked more so like themselves. So he was given descriptions, details and directions. And then coincidentally in the same year, and I'm not saying that he was the cause of it, but I find it suspicious that in that same year of 2020, there was the biggest ganja drug bust ever in Jamaica's history. And so I'm sorry, that's agent behavior in my opinion. I'm not saying he's an agent. I'm saying I think he's Agent 007. And I think that he had something to do with that ganja bust. That's what I think. That's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. Now, for the Boosie Rikians who may think that I'm an agent, well, before you just think that, bring some proof and receipts. I asked one of them who posted a meme of me and Michi, Taharka, and Brandon calling us agents of chaos. They posted that on Twitter. And I asked him, why are we agents of chaos? Why are we agents? Where's your receipts? He said, my receipt is this unprovoked attack on Tariq. Oh, I said, so just because you said so. In other words, just because you said so. You see how his minions do exactly what he does? I'm his minion and I said so. They have no receipts. They have no receipts of anything. All they do is make these unfounded accusations. But these accusations against Boosie Reek, they're absolutely founded. There's a reason to believe these things. Okay? There's a reason to suspect him of these things. With that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast because I've had enough of Tariq. Tariq, okay? Sitting up there lying in court, saying that he was there to get a restraining order for his tenant. The tenant had a lease for up to a year. And here's the interesting thing. Brandon says that while he was in court, he paid the tenant, or there was an email where he agreed, he produced the email where he agreed to pay the tenant $25,000. That's unheard of. Why would you pay the tenant $25,000 because she broke your lease? Because she felt uncomfortable. Shouldn't it be the other way around? If someone breaks the lease, they usually pay the person whose lease they broke. But he supposedly paid this woman $25,000. Well, he may have to pay Taharka more than that. Okay? So with that all being said, everyone please like and share, subscribe to the channels if you haven't done so already, unsubscribe if you're mad, okay? With that all being said, also, listen, don't forget to tune in. Don't forget to tune in to Taharka on Wednesday so y'all can get the whole story, not just the watered down version. And I just want y'all to pay attention to how Boosie Reek uses all of the same exact tactics against Black people as the wanton supremacist. Okay? He starts an altercation and then tries to play the victim, just like Karens do. He's a whole Karen. Okay? And then he sits up here and he brags like a little child. He jumps on his live so excited. This is how you know he's not really a tough guy. This is how you know he's not really a tough guy, because he has to talk and act so tough. And he was so thrilled to get on his live and lie and say that he slapped Taharka. You didn't slap anybody, Boosie Reek. You tried to, but you didn't. And the only reason you even tried to or thought about it is because you knew you had backup. You knew you were on your turf. You knew you had your bodyguards there, 3 of them, and the police right across the street conveniently, Boosie Reek. That's what you knew. Taharka's not a coward for not fighting him. Taharka is smart. Why would you go to jail for a fool like Boosie Reek? He was trying to bait Taharka. That's what he was doing. He likely found out Taharka was in town, knew exactly when he was going to be there, and waited, knowing that he was going to come to the museum because Taharka had already said it on his lives. Knowing that he was going to come there. And so he had that all set up because, like I said, why weren't those people there the day before? Why wasn't he there the day before? Why weren't his bodyguards and the police there the day before? They're conveniently there the day that Taharka shows up. Taharka bought a body cam, but he was coming there to start mess with Boosie Reek. No, he was there to collect footage for his live streams, which he has every right to do. It's called freedom of the press. It's protected under the First Amendment. And the last thing I'll say in closing is that Boosie Reek can say all that he wants, that he's the victim, that Taharka came there to do this, that, and the third to him. But what he's going to have to explain to that judge is, if you were the victim, why were you advancing towards him? Why did you get out of your truck? Now, you may not have a duty to retreat in California, but in order for you to have a duty to retreat or not, You have to first have someone who's posing a threat to you. You can't go on assumptions. You can't say that I thought he had a gun. You can't say that I thought he flew from Baltimore to attack me. You can't say that I thought he was there to do me harm. You can't assume. You have to know. The threat has to have been actively made. And he's saying that Taharka disparaged his family. Taharka never disparaged his family. He never disparaged his family at all. He's a liar, okay? He's such a liar. Taharka never disparaged his family. He just dropped receipts and told the truth. And then he says Taharka fled in his rental car and went straight to the airport. Well, that's funny because Taharka was still in LA when I talked to him a couple of days ago. He was still there. So I'm sorry, Boosie Reek. Looks like your lies have been exposed yet again. Okay, so with that all been said, everyone please like and share. Vince I Am says actors Reyes and men's Reyes. Yes, Vince I Am, you know the law. Let me tell you all, you have to have a guilty mind. You have to commit an act of something that is malicious. Okay, mens rea, that means you had a guilty mind. Taharka didn't have a guilty mind when he went there. Taharka went there to get that footage. Okay, he went there to get the footage. He went there, period, to file the lawsuit. He went to the museum across the street from it to get the footage. You can't make it make sense because it's nothing but a bunch of lies that Boosie Reek has been spewing. Okay, Andrea says, enjoy the show, Queen. Thank you, beloved. So with that all being said, everyone please like and share, subscribe to the channel. And let me just say this. I have someone very important coming on this show next week. Sophia Stewart. Sophia Stewart is coming on here, okay? The owner and creator of the Matrix and the Terminator franchises. All right, she's going to be here live with the Queen, so y'all get ready for it, okay? That's going to be next week. So with that all been said, I wish you all love, peace, and light. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive, like Boosie Reek, mind you. And always remember to keep the Most High first in your lives. Until next time, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
With that flavor all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the Queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now.
That's
See
right.
a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the Queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy.
Real slick.
I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the Queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the Queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got